go. What's up, everybody? We're back, we're live, we're doing a thing. It's Common Fury with myself, YourFace, the man to my left, Trindominus. Oh look, we got graphics now. We're doing a thing.
Oh, that's fancy schmancy. I like it.
But yeah, so we're back another Sunday talking about nothing. Well, we got some topics, but Angel, how's your last week been in life and times of Angel Trindominus?
Hey man, it's been pretty good. I really can't complain. Playing a bunch of games. Sometimes I opened up a can of whoop ass. Sometimes the whoop ass was in the can. I don't know. You know what I mean.
It was more
doing good.
You got your ass whooped a couple times by a particular game, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess we will.
I mean, I had to bring it up. It took you way too long to beat Doom. I'm just saying. I
know. To be fair, I did find out through some incredible troubleshooting that my controller's messed up. So I had the inability to turn left really well.
What are you, Zoolander?
So it made things very difficult. That's what it was.
I guess that's a fair point. But, yeah. So yeah, you beat Doom. What else happened this week?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I beat Doom, and then I jumped into Bloodstained, which is actually a lot of fun. Yeah, love it, man. That shit is so much fun. I love it. It's it has that nostalgia feel to it. And then when I wasn't playing either one of those games, I've been doing a lot of grinding on Destiny 2, as I'm got over light level 1000. It's a lot of fun until you start playing these stupid ass jump puzzles. Man, why would you do that? I don't know. I would love to talk to one of the Destiny developers and be like, which one of the douchebags said that this would be fun? Because they're wrong.
That's what I was thinking, actually, all this week when I was playing Ori. Obviously, I finished Doom last week, so I was trying to finish Ori and the Will of the Wisp this week. And they took like the worst, most annoying part of the first game, which was the part where you have to like run away from a boss and like get through, like blind run through like an environment as it's breaking and you don't know where to go.
Yeah.
And they did that for every boss, and I was mad. A lot.
I don't. Yeah, that's stupid. I don't like that.
I definitely hit my desk. I yelled. Blue Cheese was concerned when she stepped. I was definitely the fury. Yeah, I had a headache. Huh? I finally finished the game last night, and like every time I played it twice to finish it yesterday, and I had a headache, and it was terrible. But yeah,
that's nuts.
But
you got it done in two streams, I guess you said.
No, it was a week essentially. I think I put 25 hours into the game, and then when I finally beat it, come to find out it's completely broken. No, I already knew that part, but like the achievements are completely broken. So my completing the game on hard achievements and getting all the life orb things, none of those unlocked. So I have to wait for the next patch. But throughout the game, I was like, yeah. Throughout the game, I was like phasing through walls while fighting bosses. Like I got stuck in a wall during a boss fight. I had to restart the whole boss fight. Just nonsense like that. The audio was broken. It's a great story. I cried, but the game is a mess and it needs to be fixed. Do not play it until this next patch comes out if the game is fixed. And why do you keep flashing like that?
Because I was making some changes because I was trying to make myself look better because you look amazing. But then I forget that you're a professional movie maker and have one of those dope ass cameras.
Well, I think
so
my
feelings are hurt.
Super like overexposed. I think I'm like losing skin color. I've noticed the last couple of days. Like I'm really pale, and it's
quarantine. Got that quarantine color. That's what it is.
Yeah. Speaking of the quarantine, it took out the last bastion of hope for 2020 for me, and that's QuakeCon 2020. That was canceled.
Okay.
So there goes my my revenge tour, my lip sync battle revenge tour, which I should have won last year. I should be rocking a 2080 Ti, in my computer right now that I just built. But no, it was stolen from me. I was the best. I was the only one out there doing boy band dance moves, rocking the house. But unfortunately, there was a handy capable person that competed as well, and you got to give it to the handy capable guy. So.
Absolutely, because they legit have a handicap, so they have to work harder.
Exactly.
I get it.
But
I get it.
I should have won. I should have a 2018, and it still haunts me to this day.
Still should have won. It's bullshit.
I understand, but it upsets me. I also watched all of Tiger King in a day. It's kind of
okay.
boring.
So you'll have to explain to me. I only know what it is from like a cursory level. I know that there's some funny looking dude who looks like a mix of like Tim McGraw and something else. I don't know. And
Joe Dirt.
Nah. He has coronavirus, and something about a woman might have killed her husband and fed it to the lions with sardine oil. I don't know. I know nothing about it. What is this whole Tiger King about anyway?
Okay. So Tiger King is the latest and greatest of Netflix. It's a documentary series about the Tiger King, Joe Maldonado, whatever his name is. I don't know. I only know him as Tiger King because I didn't care that much to learn his actual name. Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic. That's his stage name. But yeah, so I am overexposed. Okay. But anyway, so Joe Exotic was running a tiger zoo or large cat zoo up in Oklahoma, and for like a decade or so. And so this documentarian, he came in. He's like, let's follow Joe Exotic around, and he went through the trouble of like going through him, like dealing with this lady in Florida who's like the head of the Big Cat Rescue. Her name was Carol Baskins. And so they've been having a feud for like 5-10 years, whether Joe Exotic should have his cats. While Carol, on the other hand, is doing the same thing. She has her own like big cat zoo that people come in and whatever, but she doesn't charge people or something. No, she charges people, but she doesn't pay her employees. They're all volunteers. So that's the difference between them. They're just both she's trying to get like the monopoly on the big cat thing, as well as shut him down for animal rights and stuff. And the documentary goes through that and follows him as he like just spirals downward through fame and just getting a giant head. His life just comes crashing down. He makes bad decisions. Well, he's made bad decisions all his life, but he's made bad decisions here. He gave his zoo, or he got asked for help for the wrong people. Got into some trouble, ended up in jail. I'm not going to spoil everything if you watch it. It's kind of a boring watch, though. I mean, they could have cut off like 2 episodes. Apparently, they're coming out with another episode this week, like a surprise 8th episode, which I'm not excited for. But I would say watch Dark Side of the Ring. Much better documentary series. Fantastic. Yeah. That's Tiger King. But it's been memed up like crazy. You mentioned the thing about Carol killing her husband.
Something about, because there was some meme or something that came out, and I guess I don't know if it's true, but I feel like I remember they asked her if a lion would eat a human, and then she said something about you have to coat him in sardine oil. Is this true, or is this just internet info?
No. Okay, so they went through a whole episode of like her backstory, and she was married to this rich guy. She met him on the street. He told her to hold a gun to his head when they first met so they could talk. It's some crazy nonsense, but yeah, the whole show is just ridiculously stupid. But
maybe that's why it's so popular.
Yeah, exactly. It's America. But yeah, so she was dating this guy, married him, got him to break up or separate from his wife. They got married, and they were living together, like raising cats. But she was getting upset with the way he was raising cats. And then one day, when he was about to like make this big move down to Costa Rica or something to improve his business, he all of a sudden disappeared without a trace. Nobody knows where he went. Nobody knows what happened to him. And obviously, the rumor mill throws out that she fed him to the tigers that they had. And then there's all this stuff about her changing documents after he died, that including the instance of him disappearing to make her like qualify for the will and get all the money and stuff like that. So there's some suspiciousness, some interesting points, and then there was.
All right, this sounds interesting now. Now I want to know. I want to know what's going on.
I mean, yeah, definitely check it out. Just be warned that it gets kind of slow. It's not the greatest documentary series, but it holds your attention enough to make it interesting. But yeah, the sardine oil thing. Joe like was attacked by one of his tigers, kind of like it grabbed his foot while he was running for governor, and he was doing an ad or something in the tiger pen, and the tiger came and grabbed him by the foot and like drug him off. And so like they asked her like, or they told her about it, and how like he thinks like she was to blame, like they like doused his boots in like perfume or something. And she's like, I wouldn't douse anything in perfume because that would just make them lick the thing. I would cover them in sardine oil. And everybody's like,
Like, that's very specific.
How did you know that? But yeah, that's a little tidbit of Tiger King. But yeah, to continue on. Last night, WrestleMania 36, night 1 of 2 happened. It was interesting to see WrestleMania without an audience, without like the majesty and the pageantry. It was just shot in the studio, and yeah, it was odd. You said we were watching a little bit right before we started, and you were saying like how crazy, or like just how it's not the same without people. And
no, it's weird. So John Cena. I'm not really a big fan of John Cena. He's okay, but he did say something before. At one point, I thought he was actually pandering to the crowd, because he would always say that the number one performer for the business are the fans. The fans make the business. The fans are the most important part. I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of that's pandering, right? Because there's some truth to that. Without the fans, there is no you, right? You're no star without your fans. But in some industries, like, you can still put on a performance without the crowd being there and still be successful, right? But apparently, in wrestling, that is not the case. It is not the same at all. At all. It is actually incredibly awkward. I think the difference between the WWF, right, or WWE, professional wrestling, and me doing stuff with my buddies in my bedroom is the crowd.
Well, like the
that's
lights,
the difference.
The fireworks, everything, like the production value. Oops. That's the difference.
It's still the crowd, man. It's still the crowd. Because there was a hard spot. Like, somebody did this a badass suplex, right? And I was like, yo! But since I didn't hear the crowd reacting to it at the same time,
it's like, maybe it wasn't that awesome.
The significance. I was like, oh, maybe it's just, he's just doing something. Oh.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think there have been instances where it's been good wrestling. It's good enough to like ignore the fact that there isn't a crowd. Like the ladder match last night with Kofi Kingston, John Morrison, and one of the Usos. I don't know which one. They look the same to me.
Wow.
I mean, they're twins. What do you want? I don't know their names. Don't hate on me. But yeah, that ladder match had great spots. It was intense. It was awesome. It had a good finish, although it kind of was a little like muddled, but it was an interesting finish. And I thought it was a good watch. I didn't care for a crowd at that point. I still enjoyed it. I was reacting here in my apartment, just watching. Yeah. And I was enthralled. And then that's one case, like, where it works, like in that instance, in like the arena with the mat and everything. And the other case that it worked was the movie match, the Boneyard match between the Undertaker and AJ Styles. Which, shout out to the Undertaker if you heard early, you heard Rollin', because it was the return of the American Badass to a degree.
Such a silly shtick.
What do you mean? What's wrong with the American Badass? How are you gonna hate on the American Badass?
Because he's too old to be pulling that. Nah, son. He's the Undertaker. When you see him, it's Undertaker. He is forever I don't even know his real name. He is Undertaker. Excuse me, Mr. Undertaker. May I have a selfie?
That'd be hilarious to see in person. Mr. Undertaker, can I get a selfie?
Yeah, that's what I would say. That's exactly what I would say. Mr.
Mr. Undertaker, I'm 40. Doesn't matter, boy.
I know, right? Look.
But no, I always enjoyed the American Badass Big Evil like era of Undertaker. It allowed him to be like himself, just a biker dude who just like kicked people's asses. How can you hate on that?
Yeah.
It's a great gimmick. I liked it, and
It
I'm glad they finally like allowed him to do like a hybrid of both now. Because I've been calling it for it for years. Because it's kind of like, I mean, it's great to see him come out of the coffins and walk down to the ring at 1 mile an hour and take 15 minutes to get there, but.
That's so true.
When he's like 70 years old, I don't think he's 70, but he's pretty close. He's not 70. Let me get my facts straight.
I could Google it. No, finish your thought. I'll Google it right now.
I can talk in Google. I'm a millennial, but he's
jerk.
like
He's 55.
55. I was thinking 60, but yeah.
He looks it. He looks
Yeah.
over 60.
I mean,
He's 55.
My hairline's starting to look like his hairline at this point. But yeah, just like give him something more to talk about, more to do in the ring, because he when he's this old and he's trying to like look like no sell stuff, and then like anytime he gets hit, he's like out of breath, or like anytime he does something, he's out of breath because he's old. You gotta change with the times again, and I think moving forward, this should be a good change. And from what we're seeing, like there's a commercial on the WWE network during WrestleMania about like a lead up to maybe his final match at WrestleMania 37, if there is a real WrestleMania 37. We'll see. So I'd like to see him finally retire. I don't know who's going to go against, but it'll be interesting.
I'd like for him to win.
How's it going?
I would like.
No, he's got to go out. You got to go old. He's old school. He's going to go out on his back. You got to go out. You got to give somebody a push.
Let somebody go over?
Yeah.
I can see that. Because he had this unbeaten WrestleMania streak. I think it was what, 21?
Yeah, I think it was 21. I don't know is ridiculous because The Undertaker is my all-time favorite wrestler, but
yeah, no, it was 21, and he ended up losing to. Why can I see the guy who? He was a UFC champion also, big guy.
White guy. Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
Thank you, Brock Lesnar. Man, I can't believe I forgot that. But yeah. So that's what it was. That's when he ended up losing. The WrestleMania streak was broken by Brock Lesnar. But Undertaker there was this article about it. Undertaker actually wanted to lose after the 20th one. He didn't want to win the 21st WrestleMania in a row. He wanted to lose prior to that, but there wasn't anyone he wanted to put over.
Yeah, he talked about it for a while. At least since like 15. It was always like something he talked about, like, I don't really want to keep doing this, but I'm going to keep doing this. But it was like just after there was like one WrestleMania, I think it was 32 or 33. He like put his stuff in the ring. Like I was watching a whole podcast about it. The Stone Cold sessions with The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And he talked about it like when he was going to retire, because Stone Cold brought it up. He's like, I went out on my terms to a degree, and I was wanting you to go out on your terms, but you just keep coming back. Why is that a thing? And he's like, well, like 3 years ago, I put like my hat and my coat in the middle of the ring, and that was going to be it. I thought that was the end, but somehow, some way, Vince keeps convincing me to come back, wrestle in Saudi Arabia, for like millions of dollars, and how could turn up millions of dollars to do one match, I guess. I don't know. But it looks like this might be the end. This lead up this next year might be the end. Maybe. Aliens. I look like the aliens guy right now. So. But yeah, Jamie, we're just doing a podcast today. No song requests. We just talk. If you have something to talk about, if you want to add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to do that. Jamie in my Twitch chat was asking about song requests. But yeah, so we should probably set up some WrestleMania Part 2. Watch party tonight in the Discord. We may be showing it in the Discord. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So hop in there, watch with us, and it'll be fun. What else do we have on the docket? Anything else you watched since your movie show the other day? Your 1 hour movie show?
No, actually, because I watched those movies and then I gorged on The Boys on Amazon, and then that was it. And then I was just steady grinding Destiny,
Did you
Doom,
finish The Boys?
and yeah, man, it was only eight episodes,
Yeah.
but I went through and monstered it. Did you see it?
I watched it, yeah, like about a month after it came out. I watched it in one day at work.
Oh my God, it was so good, so
Definitely
good.
fantastic. I'm waiting for that season 2, which might be delayed now, because unfortunately. But I think it's
Corona?
about to come out early or like early summer, yeah, if not late spring. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it was a lot of
It
fun.
was a very, very well written movie.
Yeah.
Subverted expectations purposefully, not just to do it for the sake of doing it. There were some twists, turns. So good. So good. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. Who's your favorite character?
Um,
Even if you can't remember the name,
I actually like kind of remembered two names that came to mind immediately. Was the Dewey guy, the normal like guy who just gets thrown at everything. I think his name was Dewey.
oh,
Or
Huey.
Hewitt. Yeah,
Huey.
close. I was close.
You were close. Yeah.
And it's been a few months. And then Starlight, I liked her just because she was cool.
What?
She was cute.
What?
And she had just
Yo.
like an interesting story because she came into like the superhero stuff like with big eyes, and she's like, oh, it's gonna be this wonderful experience, and immediately off the bat, her like life was turned upside down. She was abused and all that, and she had to come to terms with that and like what the reality is of being a superhero, and then like finding a path for herself, knowing that reality. I thought it was a good arc, so I definitely enjoyed that character. And she was cute.
I believe she.
so.
She was alright. She was a little too thin for me. You know what I'm saying? A little too thin.
Fair point, I guess.
She has the best possibility for an arc. I think she could have the most compelling story out of everyone in the show because of what you said. She came in being naive, and now she's starting to see how things really are. So the possibility for great storytelling is there, and she does have the most potential. Her character has the most potential. But mine, Kimiko, the Japanese girl that they
Oh yeah, she's great.
kept her caged up. Yo, I fell in love. She's so hot. So Kimiko and Homelander, the Superman archetype. Because typically Superman is not really my favorite because he's so bland. To me,
Yeah.
Superman is bland, but Homelander is not bland. And the actor who portrays him, I believe, does a great job bouncing between sinister and wholesome. Does a phenomenal job. So like, when he was on scene, any scene he was in, I was captivated because I was watching him to see what he would do, how he was going to act, what the transitions were. Like I was hooked. And then, like I said, Kimiko she was so beautiful. I just wanted to protect her, which is weird because she could destroy me and everyone. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
touch
Like
her,
I just wanted
going for a hug, your arms would be gone. Just like
I know, but like I just wanted to I don't know, take care of her. I don't know. It was strange. It was strange. And can we talk about Elizabeth Shue? My childhood crush. She's in that movie. Oh,
still sexy now.
still sexy. Elizabeth. Or Miss Shue, whichever you prefer. I know you're watching the show. I just want to let you know again. If you'd like to get together for some coffee, maybe some lunch, just let me know. It's on me. I would love to just talk. So good. So good. Anyway, what's next? What's next on the docket?
All right, well, we can start digging into the meat of this podcast.
Meat and potatoes?
We got
dig into the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, we got some topics from yourself. I'll list them off. We can start where you want to start. So we got the game that gave you the most difficulty and why.
Let's just start there because it's an easy one for you to jump on right now.
I mean, honestly, I can't even think of a game that gave me. Well, you know what? I have one, maybe.
Okay, badass.
I mean, yeah, every game's conquerable to me. You just like you kind of think about it. break it down, you learn, you study, and you get better, and eventually you'll get past it. Nothing's ever been like, I've been stuck on this for weeks or something, or I've never beaten this. I think about every game I picked up, I've beaten, and if I haven't beaten it, it's not because of difficulty, it's just because I don't have time to go back and play it. But that's it. But yeah, Halo 2 on Legendary, solo. It
Really?
sounds odd, yeah, but
Yeah.
like load it up, I guarantee you won't get past the first level. I guarantee it. And then you throw in skulls, you'll never beat the game.
Well, the skulls are ridiculous, yeah, the skulls, but just
by itself,
regular legendary, yeah.
No, you won't beat it. I promise you. It is the hardest Halo on Legendary of any one of them. I don't know what they did in that one. They cranked up this AI to like just always aim for the head no matter what. Like there's later stages where you just like take one step out and there's like 4 snipers up in corners and they all shoot at you at the same time and all their things converge on your head. Like every single one of them hits you in the head at the exact same time. True. Yeah. And you're like, what the hell just happened? So stuff like that. The first level is really the hardest one. Once you get past that and you like figure out like how to advance, you're fine. But there's like this one area where you walk out into a hangar and there's enemies on all sides and your only area of like cover is like one barricade and like the sides of walls hold like for a door frame. And then you have to find out how to like survive through that with like a turret and guys with swords and stuff like little guys that like take down your shield in one shot. It's a mess, but it's fun. I enjoy it. I need to go back and play that. Speed run through it.
Let me go ahead and tell you this here, Eric. I don't know if you see this here. I don't know. In honor of WrestleMania.
I didn't bring my belts. I haven't gotten them from my parents' house yet. I need to bring my belts.
Listen here, ladies and gentlemen. My man had difficulty with Halo 2. I've beaten every Halo on Legendary with the exception of Halo 5 and 4 because they were both trash. Okay. But all the good Halos I've beaten on Legendary because I'm the best.
I need to see you do this now. I call it a challenge. Halo 2 Legendary.
Halo 2 Legendary, baby.
Right now.
Beat
Cancel the podcast.
It's the best.
If you can get past the first level, I will concede that you were a better gamer than me in Halo. Even though that's not true at all, I would destroy you. But yeah. But
challenges.
So what's your hardest game? Doom Eternal?
No. Even that. Well, now that I know I have a broken controller, when I get a new one, I want to load back up Doom Eternal and then play again to see how things play out now.
See what the difference is.
Yeah, because it was giving me problems, and then it also started making things difficult in Destiny. I was like, oh snap! Yeah, I can't turn left. I have difficulty turning left.
I'm gonna go back and watch the film and watch you turn left and just like take clips of every time you turn left.
Everything is slow. If I turn right, it's zoop, and then I turn left, it's like click, 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 click.
Okay, that might be the case. I need to look this up, but.
And then I had it too where I wasn't even hitting a button and it started drifting. Like the sights were going in different directions. So it's broke. But the game that gave me difficulties, interestingly enough, just bear with me, was on Super Nintendo, Star Fox on hard. That took me forever to beat.
I could see that.
That took me forever to beat.
Well, I'm going to go play that on hard now. Do I have my Super Nintendo Mini?
That was rough. That was rough. I remember when I beat it, man, I was yelling because it's funny. I was living with my grandma in high school at the time. And at the time we had the Super Nintendo on the porch. So I'm outside during the summer, sweating my ass off. Playing.
You're battling the elements now, too.
Yeah, I was battling the elements and trying to beat this game on hard. And then when I did, man, I was screaming. I was like, oh my God, I did it. Grandma was like, be quiet, the neighbors. Over 20 years later, nothing's changed. Be quiet, the neighbors.
Still the same.
Love Grandma. She's so funny. But yeah, I was just curious. So you got Halo 2 on Legendary, which is admittedly difficult, and then Star Fox, Super Nintendo on hard. That's rough.
That's really the only game that came to mind when you asked like, what's the most difficult? Like I said, I don't really pay attention to like games being hard, because there's always like, you play a game, especially at this point, you play a game and you're like, okay, that was a hard section, but why was it hard? And then you're like, okay, terrible controls, like animations are terrible. Something's always wrong. Like sometimes nowadays, actually, there's a difficult game haven't finished. I've basically almost finished it. It's Celeste, which came out recently. And
wait,
what?
What
do you mean? What?
You haven't finished it? What do you mean you haven't finished it?
I haven't got everything. I've been trying to like get all like the emerald things, so I can unlock the like final last level to finish that level.
Oh, you're talking about 100%ing it.
Well, I mean, technically that's you finishing it, because that's the only way to get to like the top of the mountain. I don't know.
Wait, no, because I did. No, because I got all the emeralds. Oops. Isn't there like B-sides or something? Oh my god!
Yes,
now I want to
B-sides, and then I think there's additional things including that.
And then there was something like inside the mountain, right? The boards inside the mountain.
Yes, you need all the emerald things or the heart pieces to open the thing, and then they came out with the DLC, which I beat. I think, I don't know. Did I beat that? I don't know. I'm still trying to work on that. It's not because it's. I mean, it's hard, but it's hard because apparently, like the Xbox controller is like the worst D-pad mine was broken.
No, it's the angel excuse. Finish the sentence. It's the worst D-pad ever made.
I mean, no, it's a good D-pad. It's just the D-pad I was playing on was like crap. Like when I got my new Elite controller, I wasn't having as many trouble like getting diagonals out and jumps out. So
yeah.
When I go back and finish that eventually, that's hopefully will be easier. But that's the controller was fighting me the whole time. That's what I'm gonna say. It's not that hard of a game, but it's definitely one you have to learn, put some time into to get good. That's the only one I can think of other than that. But yeah, there's always a reason why things are hard.
I like the way that you broke it down, because the same thing too. Whenever I thought about posing that question to you, there was only one game that I've ever thought about that was hard. That took me a long time to beat. Like I said, Star Fox. Outside of that, once you learn patterns and memorization and everything else, and you get past the frustration when you realize there's nothing wrong with the game. It's just you suck, and you got to get better. But there's always a solution.
That is true. Yeah. I think also you were talking about like 20 years ago playing these games. Being Halo 2 on Legendary was 16 years ago for me. So our age factored into like the difficulty too, and why we remember those games. I don't think it would really. I mean, if we played them now and did the same thing, it's not going to be as hard. But that mattered in the process of learning how to play video games as kids. We definitely struggled at certain points, and those are the points we remember. So
yeah, that's actually true, because there is an age difference between us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like 11 when Halo came out. I think. Around there. It was definitely my formative years. I wish I had spent more time playing fighting games at that time than Halo, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's funny. That is funny. Yeah, I think age is a factor, because I know at least in fighting games too, like my reaction speed is nowhere near as good as it used to be back when I was going to competitions. And same thing in Modern Warfare. When I was winning competitions, my reaction speeds are nowhere near as good now. Not even close.
I feel like we should give Modern Warfare another chance. This time I fixed my audio issues.
Man, I deleted that game same night.
I wasn't even that bad. You were complaining about not being able to respawn, and then you had a game type where you could respawn, and you got mad.
I just didn't like it, because I play too. And I had said this before too. It has to do with my play style. I play too reckless to be playing like a slow, methodical game like that. 'Cause that's the key to winning. It's like being patient, finding what you need, running, and then boom, immediately shifting into combative mode whenever you run into someone, and then I don't know, man. I don't have the patience for that. I think I'm too reckless. Too reckless. You see that in my KD whenever I play, whenever I play games. High death, high kills. It's terrible.
Yeah, definitely with the battle royales, it takes some adjusting. I still haven't like fully adjusted to playing like that. Like I get like my Rambo like head in mode, and then just start like running in, try to fight everybody at the same time. Like, this isn't Halo. What am I doing? Stop.
Yeah.
Just like yelling at myself.
Rough. Because even when I was doing the Fortnite thing, I never won. I don't think I won a singles. I think I came in second once. But the only time that I won is because I was on a team and they did well. So it was usually me, Blue Cheese, Nene Malo, and Jefferson Rawl. And they basically carried me.
Yeah, I always had to steal victories in like solos. Like I would hide and I'd wait for someone to die, and then I'd take like just like a vulture. I'd come over, take over their whatever they built up, make their home my home, and wait for everything to go down, and then like I'd sneak up on the last person and just like either let the circle kill them or like do enough damage to make the circle kill them. And they always try to trap me at the end, and I don't do traps, so like I always somehow barely escape, and they'd probably think I'm a cheater. I've won so many games where someone used a trap, I escaped after getting hit and stayed alive and then killed them, and I've probably been reported a couple times on Fortnite.
A couple times, like, this guy's a hack.
Don't blame me, blame the trash game, okay? You know what? I didn't make the game, it's a piece of crap. But yeah, so speaking of difficulty, I would say nowadays, we're mentioning like learning games and age and whatnot. I think Street Fighter is my most difficult game, or any like new fighting game, because there's just so much to learn, and like I can feel it. Like my head, like parts of my brain start to hurt when I play like a fighting game, and I'm like, I'm so old, it hurts my head. I can't learn this stuff anymore. And then like I have to break it. It takes me forever to like learn like when like the best openings are, and then usually whenever like I play against you or Ryan, I get beat like 100 times in a row, and then that one time I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna press all the buttons and just like let the force take over, and I end up winning that round. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should keep doing that. And I think about it too much, and I lose. I don't know.
It's funny you bring that up, because I really didn't get good at Street Fighter until I got older. It was like I had to change the way that I was thinking before I was able to get good and go to tournaments. But Killer Instinct was probably the only game that I was really good at, but it was a completely different fighting game.
Yeah.
Than Street. But I understand. Like if I play first-person shooters that have too much going on, I get overwhelmed. So, because in Halo, it's very simple. Right? It's a very simple first-person shooter in comparison to, specifically like Destiny, where you can have 3 different types of supers, and then within those supers you have 3 different types of chains within that, and then you can combine those with different mods and weapons and power levels and blah blah blah. Shut up! I just want to be able to shoot someone in the face, just straight combat,
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a space for like the return of like good old-fashioned arena shooters. We need a real Quake or something. Maybe Halo Infinite will be that. I don't trust 343 to do anything in regards to that.
Me either.
I don't know. We'll see. I definitely pine for something like that. Just simple, drop in, 4v4, 1v1, fight me. We'll see who's better. No abilities, no random drops, no luck. Just I'm better than you or you're better than me, and that's all I need.
Yeah, that's what I would like too. But these new kids have already been raised on the complexities of combat that might be too boring to them, and I get that.
Well, the thing is, it's not boring. It's just something for them to learn, and then they don't want to learn. But they'll learn battle royale, like they'll learn like new change notes every week for Fortnite, because they change the entire game like every week, essentially taking out guns and stuff. It's like this meme I found online yesterday. It was like it's like a SpongeBob meme with like a crooked face, like, y'all be making these TikTok videos, but y'all can't be making PowerPoints in school. Like, you can do this, but you don't want to put the effort into something else. Come on. It's I don't know. It's the same with games. People like get accustomed to what they like, and then they get stuck in their ways. And,
no, I am absolutely like that. I really am. Like my boys have been trying to get me to play a bunch of different games, and there's just some games that I won't play. I'm being hard headed. So like, if somebody asks me to play a turn-based RPG, you can kiss my ass. I'm not gonna play it. Nope. This is not gonna happen. It could be the greatest game. Chrono Trigger, never played. Final Fantasy, will not play. Except I will play the remake because it's more action oriented. But I will not play that. Text. What are those text adventure games where you have to click stuff on the screen and
Point and click adventures and text
point and
adventures
click
stuff. Yeah,
Nope.
those aren't that bad.
Don't even ask me. I am not gonna play
But
it.
then I guess I kind of grew up on those as well. Those like a lot of the computer games I played when I was a kid.
I was traumatized by dying of dysentery and freaking Oregon Trail. Nope. What are some other ones? What is the Diablo 3? Isn't that a genre?
I don't know what the genre is, but it has its own genre.
Yeah.
Top down something. Top down.
Yeah, I am incredibly apprehensive about playing those. I only played Diablo 3 because, like I said, because Jefferson Rawl kept bothering me about it, and I had to hear about it every day because we worked together. And I ended up breaking down and playing it, and I loved it. But I don't run towards any of the others. Like, it's just not my thing. But I think we're all like that, where we have some games that we won't play or genre.
Yeah, for me, it's the same as you with turn-based RPGs. I mean, I'll play them. Like Pokemon is a turn-based RPG, but I don't know. That's like entry-level stuff, and then you get into like the Final Fantasies. I played 10. I never played 7, and I like 10, but like the disc I got from Blockbuster that I rented was a piece of crap, and the game would freeze when I got to a certain point, and I never got to pass that section. So maybe if it's ever on Game Pass, I'll play it, but I don't know. And then I do want to go back and play some like the Earthbound and stuff on Super Nintendo, but I don't know. I don't know. That's a lot of time to invest in those kinds of games, and I just don't see it, even with a pandemic going on. I don't know.
That's funny.
I mean, yeah.
They're like, yo, I hate that so much. I don't even care that we're quarantined. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do homework.
Usually people are like, yeah, I mean, people are like, they're good, and I play them, and I'm like, yeah, they were great, but I just, even when you know they're good, it's just so hard to just play them. Or it's so hard to do stuff. Like, go out and work out. You'll look awesome, and girls will love you. Well, I mean, that takes effort. I don't want to work out.
Oh, jeez.
I don't want to sweat. I gotta take a shower. Then I gotta do all this stuff. You start finding excuses, and then that's the problem. I don't know. Like I just started like transferring baby videos from my mom and myself mostly, to like digitize them, put them on like the YouTube or something, so they're easy to find.
Got it.
But I started it Friday, and I ran into a hitch going through the tapes, and I'm like, well, I'll do it later. And then 2 days have passed. I haven't come back to it. So it's the same thing. It'll take me another month before I probably look into it. I don't know. It's life. You prioritize the stuff you want to do, and then you never get around to the stuff you need to do.
Hey, I know. I have a whole stack of notes. These are all things that I have to do. This whole stack of paper. So I have notes referring to other notes to let me know stuff I have to do. I'm one of those guys.
That's my brain. I just stack sticky note on sticky note, and I forget everything. Eventually. I wish I was a note taker. I've always thought, like, since I was a kid, I'm like, I wish I wrote stuff down, because I always forget things, and then I just prioritize what I can remember. And then I've always found, like, if I write it down, like in a phone note or something, I end up like completing those tasks more often. But then I just like, well, I got to write it down, and that takes time. I don't want to do that. I just find an excuse to not do it. I don't understand what's wrong with my brain.
Rather play video games.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about video games is like they put out like little things, like simple tasks that you can knock out really quick, and then like, oh, I did it. I feel good about myself. Let me do another one. Same thing with Animal Crossing. That's how they get you. They give you little things, little nuggets, and they keep you in. And you're like, I can do that in 5 minutes. Knock it out. I can do another one for 5 minutes. Knock it out. 3 hours later, I've done 20 of them. I should stop.
I feel you.
Yeah. Next topic, before we stay on this tangent for a whole episode like we've done before. You talked about gamer foods and top tier recommendations.
Yes! Top tier recommendations for gamer food. What
funny.
you got?
Look, you got to start this one. I have no idea where to begin. It was funny you were talking about pizza last time. I think that's pretty top tier in my book.
No, it absolutely is. I think what I recommend, right? If you want to feel fancy and classy, DiGiorno, man. DiGiorno pizza. Want to feel fancy, classy? Get you a DiGiorno pizza. That's top tier. That's top tier gamer food.
You know, I went out and got some pizzas. I don't know. Did I get one or two? I got one. I went just so I wouldn't feel fat. I got one pizza. I got my Red Baron. I was going through the freezer aisle. I'm like looking at the tiers of pizza as I was going through. Like we got the DiGiorno for like $7. Then we got the Red Baron for $5. Then the Tombstone we mentioned last week for $4. And I'm like, Tombstone don't look that bad this week. I feel like I remember it looking worse. Maybe I was thinking of another pizza. So the Tombstone fans out there, I apologize. Tombstone was not the pizza I referred to. I'll figure that out eventually, whatever. Maybe it was. I don't know. Either way, pizza is pizza. It's all good in some way. Like I even like Little Caesars. Like $5 for a whole pizza.
Yeah. It has its moments. Little Caesars has its moments.
And and you know what? The deep dish they have, pretty top tier. I'll stand behind that all day. It's some good stuff.
Really?
But anything else? Like there's Cheetos. I think Cheetos are always a go-to, or chips.
They're okay, but they mess up the controllers.
Yeah, that's what makes them like a go. Maybe people want to mess up their controllers. They want to get them dirty. These are all foods that get your controllers dirty. Like you get the oil and grease of pizza, Cheeto dust.
I would eat them like I was high class too. Like I would use chopsticks.
That's not a bad idea. Like I'd pour them from the bag into my mouth just so I don't have to touch them, and then they get in my eyes. And like,
oh, that whole PB&J baby, PB&J.
Oh, yeah.
Top tier.
Oh, just
I just wanted to say DiGiorno pizza. That was it. That's all I had on that topic. I had nothing else. Maybe a hot pocket here and there, but you have to be careful with a hot pocket because like the edges will feel like an inferno, but the center will be still frozen. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, it's lava on the outside, ice on the inside.
Yeah, that's what it does. Laxative all the way through. I guess.
I feel like I had like the nuking of a hot pocket down to a science when I was growing up. Like I always had it like the exact timing. It was always warm throughout. I need the exact time to like let it cool and then take a bite before I only slightly burn myself. But
there is a timing that comes with it.
Yeah, it's all planning. You got to plan it out.
That's all I got. I got nothing else for top tier.
I mean, those are all easy stuff. That's, I think, the point of like a good gamer food. Something you can make really fast or just pull out really fast, and or throw it in the oven really fast and wait for it to finish, or just order out something, just something you can set aside or get it done and then go back to your game as quickly as possible. I think that's a good gamer food. I'm not seeing anything in the chat. Is anybody in your chat, or is it just me?
No, everybody's just hanging out, man. They're just listening to us talk.
I'm just making sure I haven't missed any messages. I keep looking over there. It's pretty...
No, they're good. Everybody's just hanging out, listening to us chit-chat about gamer food that only included pizza. And now we're going to move on.
We got chips, peanut butter. I don't know what else. Yeah, that's hard.
Hot Pockets.
This is why Hot Pockets. Well, I consider that like technically pizza. That's basically a calzone.
That basically. It is. It is. It's basically a calzone. That's funny. Well, we could go on to the next one. The next big idea, big question.
We got the cost of video games versus value offered. Now, this is like, for me, a big talking point because, I'm always about, I think even like nowadays, how much I pay factors into how much I enjoy a game. I hate to say it. I hate admitting to it. But if I pay $60 for a game and I finish it in 4 hours and I have nothing else to do, it's a bad game. I have to say, like, I will not like it. But if I get a game for free on Game Pass, the exact same game, I wait a couple months, play it for free on Game Pass, it's like the greatest game in the world. I don't know. I don't know. That's like my initial thoughts. Initial thoughts.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. Because when you first started talking, I was like, why would the dollars be associated with that? Blah, 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 blah. But then I was like, no, he's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And the reason why I thought about asking you this, because I wanted to get your perspective on this, is because there's been this big talk about Resident Evil 3, the remake. So it's at a $60 price point, but you get 5 hours worth of gameplay out of it, and whether or not that would be worth something. So I guess you kind of answered that, because if he's paid $60 for something that you only get 5 hours worth of enjoyment out of, your perspective is that that's not a good thing, that's a problem.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Because that just leads like developers, and especially now, developers, or it's not their fault either. It's like usually the publishers that kind of force them to release parts of games and then end up like adding to it with DLC or something. And to be fair, Resident Evil does come with, or 3 does come with Resident Evil Resistance, that like multiplayer, asymmetrical survival horror game. But that's something I'm not really interested in. I'm kind of tired of these asymmetrical games, even though I've never really played them because I don't have friends. I hate the idea of like, just like, it just makes it too hard to find multiplayer matchmaking. Like if I want to be the monster, I'm going to be waiting like 20 minutes to find a match or something. But if I want to get terrorized, which I don't want to do, I can just hop in any time and find any match, because there's nobody who wants to do that. Or there's plenty of people who can do that. And not enough people who want to be or not enough spots for who want to be the monster or whatever. Like I played Friday the 13th like one time, and I was like, had the option of playing online or offline. I'm like, if I go online, I'm probably not going to be Jason, and I'm going to be like terrified at every turn and just be miserable because I don't want to die. Or I'm going to be offline and just kill all the CPUs and have fun. And I played offline. And I had fun, and I never played it again. So that's my problem with those games. But back to the original point.
Interesting.
For me, like I assign like $1 to an hour. If I'm gonna pay $60, I better be playing this game for at least 60 hours. And the same thing, and it's really anything I do, anything I buy. Like $1 is like this camera I have. It was like $600. I said if I use this once a day for 600 days, that equals $1 a day. I feel like that I get my value out of that, and anything after that is just like playing with house money essentially. I want to make sure I get the full value out of whatever I pay, because that's my money. I don't want to spend my money. So I want to make sure it goes to a good cause. It goes to an entertaining value.
Shit. It's funny because I agree with that though. I agree with your price point. And that's the basis of the argument that I have in terms of how much money I'm spending on the game and how much return on investment I'm going to be getting. And I think that is very important. So I don't believe that a game that only offers 5 hours worth of gameplay is worth $60 price point. Because what you're trying to say is that game deserves to be in the same league as, say, Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption, Horizon Zero Dawn on release day. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So those are significantly different amounts of content that you're getting. And people might say development costs and all this other jazz, but I don't care. You can't, because what you're doing is you're starting to skew the system. So for every 5 hour, $60 game that goes platinum and becomes a huge success, that basically signals the death of a large open world engrossing gameplay experience, because the publishers won't see the reason in investing that much money in a game that big when they can make more money giving us less.
Exactly.
So that's my biggest pet peeve. And I bring this up because this is something that's hitting close to home right now, because Resident Evil 3 was actually the game that I had chosen to play this month. But when I started listening to the reviews and listening to how long the gameplay was, I had to stop. So I'm like, yo, man, I ain't got money like that. So I have to be very smart with whatever new title, I decide to buy for the stream, So
exactly.
That's why I paused. I paused on it.
And that's why if you're going to get a game day one, buy it at Walmart, because it's $50 and not $60. Actually, no. Get a Target Red Card or a Walmart card, either one. The red card isn't really like a real credit card thing, but get that. Go to Target, get the game, price match it, then you get it for $47. Boom. Day one, $47. Pro tip. That's what I did with Doom. I should have done it with Animal Crossing, but I've definitely put in 60 hours in Animal Crossing. So,
hey, man, what you're saying is correct. I did that with Jedi Fallen Order.
But yeah, it's too easy
to
just wait for a sale. The only reason why you'd get something day one is like the social factor, like in Animal Crossing. You want to be able to play the game when there's other people playing, or people talking about it on Twitter or something. What is on my finger?
Gross.
Yeah,
wash your hands.
It is
Corona.
Gross. I did just wash my hands. But yeah, like you want to be. That's the only time I could say is like. Only reason why I buy a game day one is to make sure I can play with my friends and be just like socially. Crap, I forgot the term. I use this all the time. You just don't want to be a social outcast, essentially. It's like Tiger King. You're gonna go watch Tiger King now because everybody's talking about it, and you want to know about the story of Joe Exotic, even though it's like the dumbest thing in the world. That's the reason why I watched it.
That's a very real thing. That's why Game of Thrones became so successful. That's why 50 Shades of Grey was a successful book. You're absolutely right. People don't want to miss out. Twilight. Let's go ahead and bring Twilight into that one. There's another one. I'm trying to think of something else that became a huge success that no one expected to be a success. Joker. There you go. There's another one.
I think everybody kind of was going to go see that anyway. Just because it had Joaquin Phoenix in it, and it was the Joker, and it piqued everybody's curiosity. But I don't. I guess like the public perception of it was unexpectedly high. I guess.
Yeah, that sucks. It sucks more for streamers. I think streamers fall into that boat where they have to get things day one. You know.
I did that same thing early on. I'm like, I have to get this game if I want to stay relevant. Because it's a new game, it's a popular game. It was Call of Duty Black Ops 4 or whatever. I thought if I bought it and I played with people, my friends, I offered to play with viewers, I would be able to grow my stream a little bit more. And that wasn't the case because nobody cared to watch my stream anyway. So, so there's no point in buying something for other people. Just play what you want to play and save your money. Wait for the free version, like Warzone, like I did.
Okay. Well, on that note,
or get Game Pass.
I did have. Oh, that's actually that's actually really good return on investment, right? So, because I was thinking about that, I think that came up during yesterday's stream. Somebody was talking to me about that, or the day before. But if you do Xbox Live, for instance, so it's $60 for the year, right? For the pass. If you don't get it on sale, but $60 a year
for Xbox Live. But
for Xbox Live,
Game Pass is like a different add-on. It gets messy, but
right,
you can
and then you have to
find
pay
discounts, of course.
You then have to pay, what is it, like $10 a month or something like that on top of?
No, it would replace your old subscription. Like it would stack on top of, like, so when I started Game Pass, I had like a year of Xbox Live, it like already put in. But I just bought, and then the next week they announced Game Pass. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, actually, Game Pass is separate from Game Pass Ultimate. That's what we're talking about. So yeah, Game Pass you would stack on top of a normal thing. But if you get Ultimate, then you can combine your Xbox Live and Game Pass Ultimate into one subscription. So whatever you had before, you get that year. And if you bought a 1 year of Ultimate, they'd combine into 2 years, and then you'd be extended throughout that period. So is
it still the same amount, like $60?
I don't know how much Ultimate is right now. Xbox Live should go down in price. That's a good point.
I'm gonna look this up. I want to know what it is.
I want to say it's like 80 for a year without any discounts or something. And then there's this like whole like pricing fiasco where they're like, on Xbox you could do a subscription service, like and it would break it down by day, and it was like 1 penny a day for a Game Pass Ultimate. I'm like, well, I'm gonna sign up for that because 1 penny a day is 30 cents a month, and or was it 10 cents? It was 10 cents a day, and whatever that is, $3 a month comes out to like $18 a year. That's a steal. They definitely shut that down really fast, though. They're like, we're sorry, we can't provide this service to you anymore. We apologize. But
well, so I'm looking at the PS Now, right? PS Now, which is essentially the same thing. So you have access to a catalog of games for PS2, PS3, and then they even have new titles from PS4 that are on there as well. And then, but you have to have like an Xbox or a PlayStation Now subscription. So that's like $60 just for PS Plus. And then you have the $60 for a year's worth of PS Now, which gives you access to those games that I was talking about, right?
yeah.
So that's $120 that you're spending for a year to have access to all that, which basically comes out to $10 per month. So when you think of it in terms of return on investment, for $10 a month, you have access to all these games. And if you're playing and beating 2 to 3 games per month, you're already making money and you're being entertained. And it's cheaper than going out to the bar or something like that. So when I look at it that way, then I don't feel as bad because I'm like, man, I'm playing $60 a month just to be able to play online. You know, this is bullshit. But then I'm like, wait, I play $60 a month online multiplayer. Plus I get 2 free games per month, you know, as long as I have a subscription. And I was like, oh, then it starts to make sense. And then I started thinking, well, by me doing this, I'm not going out to the bar. I'm not buying all this extra stuff, staying home, being entertained. And then it becomes a positive return on investment. If you do the math.
Yeah, but that's still too much money for me. I got to get the discounts.
I mean, always. If you can, always get the discounts. Usually on Black Friday, they'll have discounts on like PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live. And some places will have them on sale every now and then. Target will have it so that they can remain relevant. I mean, there's always deals out there. But even if you don't go by the deals, if you just go by the straight numbers, just buy it for what it is, it's still going to be something that you're going to get back. It's worth it.
Okay.
As long as you're actively playing the games and doing stuff.
So by Microsoft's pricing, Game Pass Ultimate, which includes Xbox Live and Game Pass for PC and Xbox, those are 3 different services. If I were to go through Microsoft full price for 12 months, it's $180. If I were to, if I was going to go like hit up those discounts, it would be I can get 6 months for $40. Do that twice, that's $80. So I get the same price for more than half off. So that's always a route. Go the discount route, or just get it for free like I did.
How did you get it for free?
I don't remember. Taco Bell. There's some Taco Bell runs. I got some free months out of that. I still need to activate
the holy hookup.
I got some free months at E3. I want to say I got a year for free. I don't remember how. And then like when you first started for Ultimate, it gave you like a month for $1. So you just add that on, you stack it up. Just stack it up.
Stack it up.
But it's a great value, and I need to start adding on to my subscription because it ends at the end of the year, and I want to make sure I don't want to have to deal with that.
Nah, it's good. I used it to stream Doom 2016. That was my first test to see if I would be able to use the PlayStation Now, and it worked out pretty good. And then I used it to stream the original God of War, and there was some lag there. There was some input lag there, but it was still surprisingly well for what it was.
It's still streaming on PlayStation Now. You don't like directly download it to the hard drive first.
No, the only time that I seen that was offered was for newer titles. So I was able to download Doom 2016, but the other ones I actually had to stream it.
Well, that's annoying.
It is what it is. But yeah, I don't know if you want to close this out a little bit. Unfortunately, I have to end a little bit early today.
No problem. I think we had one more topic if you want to hit it really fast, and then we can close it out.
No, unfortunately I can't. Today, normally I would go a lot longer, but today I have to shut it down faster though. I'm sorry.
That's fine with me. Alrighty, well, it was a quiet one. We didn't, not a lot of fan participation, but that's okay. You can watch it later, the VOD, or maybe an audio version in a year from now, whenever I get to, whenever I get to doing that. But thank you anybody who tuned in, hung out, left us a message, said something, just chilled. We appreciate it all. Let me throw up our stuff on the screen one time. I did put all this work into it. I might as well do it.
Dope graphics.
Yeah. So down below, you can see our names. I'm YourFace, Trindominus to my left. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, down below. We thank you guys for checking us out, hanging out, watching. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you guys.
Take care, everybody. Thanks, man.